Water. Full of the updates and analysis.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the shortest basketball player in the world?
I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
AI Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
I've been curious. Who exactly is the youngest swimmer in the world?
Oh, I'll tell you. Alzen Tarek, age 10, is the youngest and fastest swimmer in World Championships history. Tarek has been swimming competitively since the age of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the fastest man in the world?
That's very simple. It's Usain Bolt. He is the fastest runner on the planet, setting the world record for the shortest 100 meters sprint time of 9.58 seconds.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Friday edition of the show Sports in a Jiffy right here on the number one urban lifestyle station Impact Radio 102.1 FM. A good Friday, definitely, to talk everything about sport, especially the world of football. Roller coaster of emotions last night. Of course, we got Saab in its full glory in the European League. I mean, we've seen what happened in Champions League, and then we're possibly thinking maybe that's just going to be the end of all of the amazing moments to be seen. But then Europa League said, wait guys, hold my beer. And of course, this is exactly what we're saying this particular time around. Single out the English teams at your own peril, because of course, they've had a couple of misfortunes in recent times. But yesterday, they definitely came up the clutch. 14th and the 15th place team in the English Premier League and on through to the semi-final of the Europa League. An amazing feat right there. Manchester United, a lot of people would think maybe they are dead and buried. United in its own colossus. United, of course, has shut down all of the banters for everyone who had a couple of drafts already for United last night. Possibly they deleted it already by now. The spirit of 1999, a lot of fans are saying, was what was revoked yesterday. 9-goal thriller it was between Manchester United and Olympic Lyon, a name that will not be extinguished. See it again, United. There was definitely light at the end of the Old Trafford tunnel. United that never say die, especially that tifo that was set up by the United fans that were at the Sir Alex Ferguson stand last night as well. Talk about having their own woes in recent times, and also maybe they've got some of the worst managers in recent times as well. But say credence at the likes of Kobe Mino, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, who shows once again that I am still very much a leader on and off the pitch. Harry Maguire showing that particular grit last night. Proper remontada, what Real Madrid would have wished they were able to do against Arsenal. That which they hoped for was what Manchester United was able to bring up yesterday night. Crazy scenes, guys. Against Olympic Lyon last night. A couple of fans already left after that fought to come back, and then the head coach is also saying he wished that they were right there in the stadium to witness that particular one. Vital goals that came in late in that game, and the team through to the next round, super duper excited. Possibly there might just be a matchup of the two English teams in the final if things happen just the way we are hoping for it to be. But come next month, it's going to be United against Athletic Bilbao, another team that will be looking to make sure that they play the final on their own home soil. While for Tottenham Hotspur, they'll be up against Bordeaux and Glimt, another team looking to explore in the world of the UEFA Europa League. Chelsea last night, they lost, but of course, because of the 3-goal advantage that they had in the first leg, they also trained to the semi-finals of the UEFA Conference League. A lot of stuff coming through this morning in the world of sport. Don't forget our Sports in the Jiffy. We serve this package every weekday from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10. And yes, today's edition is the last one for this working week. We'll be back from next week again, Mondays through to Fridays. Don't forget our Sports Talk Show comes to your airing on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. And on Fridays like this, we do it 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. While Saturdays will be 2 p.m. down to 3 p.m. 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews just the way you like it here on your number one urban lifestyle station, Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Whether you're a sports person, someone who loves the thrill of the game, or maybe an athlete yourself, this is the right place for you to be because the early bird has gone around the world to catch his scores, and I am more than willing to serve them to you just the way you like it. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name, and an absolute honor to be your host on the show. To the switch of the back of the net right now, we'll be getting the show on the road, and of course, it has the talks are coming through from the home front. I will start with talks coming through from other sports on the show this morning, and it's been said that our coaches of the Nigerians under 18 and under 20s women's handball team have released their final list of 14 players ahead of the IHF Women's Trophy Zonal Phase, which will be held in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, from April 20 to 24. The two teams have been training at the Rogue Park Sports Center, Yaba, Lagos, for close to 2 weeks and departed for the competition just yesterday. Coach John Uzo of the National Under-18 teams has included the likes of Omole Jo of Defender Babes and her sister Omole Shola alongside Ojie Princess of the Funad Academy into the team, while in the Under-20 team, Coach Shuto Agbola has largely stuck with players which has been grooming since their Under-18 days. The team currently led by Captain Chidera Ogubunsa alongside Rima Queen's teammates, the Samuel sisters, Amina Mohammed, and also Joy Peters. Away from that, still talking about the home front this morning, Flying Eagles coach Ali Zubir has also named his final 24-man squad for this year's Under-20 AFCON in Egypt, with goalkeeper Ifeanyi Akot, defender and captain Daniel Bameyi, midfielder Sulaiman Alabi Jojo, and also forward Parabo Hariri topping the selection. The tournament will be played in Egypt from April 27 to May 18. Zubir Luis has 3 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, and 6 midfielders, with 10 forwards within the ranks of the invited players. And away from the home front right now, straight to Europe, where we start with talks coming through from the world of tennis. Our top seed Carlos Alcaraz eased into the quarterfinals of the Barcelona Open with a straight set win over Laslo Djere. Our Spanish world number 2, Alcaraz, who triumphed at the Monte Carlo Masters just last week, won 6-2, 6-4 against Serbia's unseeded Djere. Alcaraz won the first 5 games and produced 8 unanswered winners in a dominant 4-set. The 4-time Grand Slam winner suffered a blip in the second, falling 4-2 behind before securing the final 4 games to triumph in that one. Now the 21-year-old will play 5th seed Alex de Minaur in the last 8 on Friday, which is today, after the Australian trash Britain's Jacob Fernley. Unseeded Fernley beat Spain's Roberto Cabales Berna on Monday for his first ATP Tour win on clay, but was defeated 6-1, 6-2 by de Minaur. Elsewhere in the draw, Russian 4th seed Andrei Rublev lost 7-5, 6-4 to unseeded Spaniard Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina will now face unseeded Karin Khachanov in the quarterfinals after the Russian defeated Spain's Jamal Bonar also by 7-5, 6-4 margin. Away from the ATP straight in the WTA this morning, teenager rising star Mira Andreeva went out of the Stuttgart Open as she lost straight sets to fellow Russian Ekaterina Alexandrova in the last 16. 6th seed Andreeva, who has already won 2 titles this season, lost 6-3, 6-2 against unseeded Alexandrova in just over an hour. Andreeva, with 17, became the youngest champion at the WTA 1000 event in February by winning the Dubai Tennis Championship before triumphing at the Indian Wells in March. But she was unable to wrestle control of the Thursday's match from Alexandrova, who is 30 years, who claimed a fourth win over a top 10 ATP player already, a WTA player, I beg your pardon, this season. Alexandrova will now be playing against Jessica Pegula in the quarterfinals after the American trash Poland Magdalene Frank 6-1, 6-1. Italian fifth seed Jasmine Paolini, who beat unseeded German Joe Niemer 6-1, 7-5 to reach the last 8 for the second successive year. She'll now be playing against fourth seed American Kokugaev, who crossed past Germany's Ella Sidel 6-1, 6-1 inside just 57 minutes. Top seed Ariana Sabalenka will play Belgian Elise Martins in the quarterfinals after Anastasia Popotova withdrew before the last 16 match with an injury. The final last 8 ties will be seeing Polish second seed Gosatek take on unseeded Latvian Jelena Ostapenko, who holds an incredible 5-0 head-to-head record for their past meetings. Ostapenko beat American 7th seed Emma Navarro 7-5, 3-6, 6-2. Away from that talks right now straight into the world of Formula One on the show this morning, and right now be in the camp of the Red Bulls, where Max Verstappen is saying he's very relaxed about his future despite Red Bull's difficult start to the 2025 Formula One season, following a 6th place at the Bahrain Grand Prix last weekend. Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko told newsmen he has great concern about Verstappen potentially leaving the team, and the Dutchman, who is aiming to win a record equaling 5th consecutive driver's title this year, is third in the championship, 8 points behind Lando Norris of McLaren. Round 5 takes place in Saudi Arabia this weekend, with Sunday's race starting at 6 p.m. British Standard Time. Verstappen has a contract with Red Bull until 2028. But Marko, who told Sportsmen this month that it contains a performance clause that could allow him to depart from the team. The 27-year-old has been linked with a move to Mercedes and also Aston Martin for 2026 when new regulations are being introduced. He held talks with Mercedes last year, but the team boss Toto Wolff said at the season opener in Australia last month that the pitch to sign Verstappen for next season is not on any radar. Away from that right now, straight into the world of football. We start with us coming through from the Europa League, where yesterday night, the most remarkable comeback in the history of the UEFA Europa League. A lot of reactions are taking place after that particular win by Manchester United against Olympique Lyon at the Old Trafford. Just like I mentioned, a lot of fans believe that is the spirit of the 1999 that was being invoked. United produced an astonishing comeback to beat Lyon 5-4 in extra time yesterday and reached Europa League semi-finals with a 7-6 aggregate victory in their last 8 times. Lyon came from 2 goals down on the night to pull level and force extra time before appearing to be heading through the exit as they went 4-2 ahead despite being reduced to just 10 men. But Bruno Fernandes penalty at Kobe Mino strike brought United level again before Harry Maguire headed in the winner in the game in added time of the extra time. And other matches that were played yesterday also saw Tottenham also make it to the finals of the semi-finals of the Europa League once again as well. That's the first half Dominic Solanke penalty was what was enough for the team, and then they cruised to 2-1 on aggregate under fire amid the terrible Premier League campaign and with coach Ange Postecoglou's job hanging by a thread, as Spurs put in the type of controlled performance they have lacked this campaign. The way will now prove a stay of execution for Postecoglou, keeping alive Spurs' chances of reaching the final in Bilbao, along with coach of Malign guarantee of winning a title in his second season at the club. Don't forget that before this particular time around, coach Ange Postecoglou said that he does win a trophy in his second season, but we are hoping that this is what is going to happen, because this is, of course, his second season right there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Away from that, in the Conference League, Chelsea as well edged into the UEFA Conference League semi-finals yesterday with the 2-1 home defeat by Legia Warsaw, but then they had enough on aggregate, which was 4-2 to proceed into the next round. They went 1-0 down to 10 minutes penalty before Makurela close range equalizer on 33, but French defender Steve Kakaudi put the post ahead again in 53rd minute, with what proved to be the winner of the night. Legia, the lively following a Stamford Bridge with flares and shirtless chanting from around 1,000 clearly delighted fans, thanks to the 3-0 win in Poland a week ago. Chelsea will now be facing Sweden's Jugedins, who triumphed against 10-man Rapid Vienna 4-1 away in extra time in the second leg as well. Other teams have also made it through in the Conference League. We'll be having the likes of Fiorentina, who drew 2-2 in a seesaw match with Slovenia Celje, going 1-0 up in the first first half before slipping to a 2-1 down with Moise Kean scoring the clincher for a 4-3 aggregate win. And in their semis, they will be facing in form La Liga side Real Betis, which drew 1-1 at home to secure a 3-1 victory over Jagiellona Białystok of Poland. More football talks on the show. This one is saying that La Liga will join the Premier League in having 5 teams in the Champions League next season after it secured the second of the extra places for the performance by clubs across the 3 European competitions. 2 leagues are rewarded with the European Performance Sport EPS, which was introduced last season as part of a revamp to expand the Champions League to 36-team competition. England has well been out in front all season and confirmed it to get a national spot on April 8th. Spain was then guaranteed a top 2 finish on Thursday following Lazio's elimination from the UEFA Europa League, while Athletic Club ousted Rangers are 5th place in the table in England, and Spain will now qualify for the Champions League come next season. And the Premier League, there's an incredibly tight battle for the top 5, with Newcastle United on 59 points, who are sitting in 3rd, with Nottingham Forest 57, 4th, Manchester City 55 with 5th, just sitting outside the places are Chelsea with 54, and Aston Villa with another 54 points. While in the La Liga, the top 4 are clear, so it appears it's going to be a race to finish for 5th between Villarreal, who are 51 points, and then they have a game in hand. Real Betis are on 48 points. There's a further 5-point gap for Celta Vigo and also Mallorca. And still more thoughts coming through from the Spanish Liga, where it's been said that the future of coach Carlo Ancelotti is now in doubt after the UEFA Champions League exit, and there has been a couple of thoughts making it true on the internet that then the little birds are whispering that possibly we might be seeing one familiar face back in the dugout. One man was done it at the Signal Iduna Park, and one time at the Anfield Stadium might just be on the verge of going to the Santiago Bernabeu. But Carlo Ancelotti said he doesn't know if Real Madrid's 2-1 Champions League defeat to Arsenal on Wednesday, which saw the reigning champions admitted in quarterfinal stage, was his last game in charge of Madrid in the competition. Where we look forward to see how this is going to pan out in the next couple of days between himself and also Perez, the Italian acknowledged that Madrid, who were well beaten in the first leg, have been decisively eliminated, although he said his first half penalty awarded to Madrid for Declan Rice challenge on Kylian Mbappe, but then overturned after a VAR check could have changed the outcome of the game. Wrapping up the show with stocks coming through from the home front. This one, Nigerian club are said to have been found negligent for the death of one of his players during a match 5 years ago. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria also found the match commissioner, the Nigerian League, and the Federation NFF negligent for Chineme Martin's death. A statement by World Football Players Union FIFPro said yesterday Martins collapsed and died while playing for National United in a league match in March 2020 when he was just 25. The court ruling said it was reprehensible that Martins was allowed to play without complete medical tests and without the provision of the adequate medical facilities at the Lafayette Township Stadium. It has ordered the club to compensate Martins and also his family. A report published on the NFF website that year highlighted that Nassau United had neither medical doctor nor a physiotherapist at the game, and there was no functional ambulance at the stadium at the time of the incident. Moreover, Martins never underwent an echocardiogram at the start of each of his 3 seasons with the club. Our fifth pro lawyer helped Martin's family to pursue the claim of negligence. And before I wrap up the show this morning, quickly we'll talk about other sports on the show. And this time around, we'll be talking about the Gateway Games, and that is the National Sports Festival that will be hosted in Ogun State. The National Council on Sport has formally approved the 32 sport car for the 2024 National Sports Festival in a bid to bring consistency and strategic focus to Nigeria's premier multi-sport event. The decision was taken during an extraordinary council meeting held on Wednesday in Abeokuta, Ogun State, following a memorandum presented by the National Sports Commission. And so the list of compulsory sports was curated by the council based on popularity across Nigeria's 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, as well as historical participation at previous festivals and the country's performances in those sports at the international level. And the 27 compulsory sports represent the core of the Nigerian competitive and developmental priorities, including athletics, badminton, basketball, beach volleyball, boxing, chess, cycling, football, gymnastics, handball, hockey, and judo. Other sports are karate, kickboxing, kung fu, para-athletic, para-powerlifting, para-table tennis, scrabble, squash, swimming, table tennis, taekwondo, tennis, volleyball, weightlifting, and wrestling. The all states will have the flexibility to select up to 5 events from a pool of 25 optional sports to complete the 32 sports program. Don't forget that the National Sports Festival is set to be taking place from May 18 to 30 right there in Ogun State, and it's going to be the 22nd edition of the festival. Here's a close the wrap on the package this morning. Many thanks to you for being a part of the show. Sports in a Jiffy teas, and of course, I'll serve it to you in a Jiffy. I'll tip to all of the major stories making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. I'm back later this evening, 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. on the Sports Up Show. 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of reach, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. I did Jajibu sign out this morning. Do out for yourself a lovely weekend. Go out there, be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. Have a good Friday, guys.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on